Football fans will sing about absolutely anything they are passionate about. There will be famous club songs such as Marching On Together, which I admit I have a personal little penchant for. Man City fans will sing Blue Moon, You'll Never Walk Alone for Liverpool fans. The list goes on and on and on. Some clubs have songs about individual players that have committed legendary feats or even just sort of headed a ball good with their magic hat. Hell, some clubs even have songs about pies or something stupid like that. And it's rare that things completely unrelated to a club will be sung about because that's just something that fans don't have a huge passion for. But there's one song that seems to be riveting the terraces more recently. Sky TV is fucking shit. And they've made it worse. I'll go into that in a little bit more detail as I go on. I needed that little bit of a long intro just to make sure I don't get demonetized. But if you enjoy the video at any point, please like, subscribe, all that stuff. But we need to talk about the massive list of complaints about Sky and how they are potentially going to be getting worse very soon. So, some of the biggest complaints about Sky include the fact that they have consistently dragged fixtures out of place. It's something you'll see Jurgen Klopp complain about, where they'll play European football in the middle of the week, and then they also have a Saturday kickoff. So it's Thursday, Saturday, not much time to turn around and stuff like that. Or when they're in the Champions League, it'll be Tuesday, and then they might have a Friday kickoff, and daft things like that. It's a little bit bonkers, and it affects the routines of teams. But importantly, they do so at very, very, very short notice, which means that fans also need to vastly change their arrangements. That includes rebooking hotels. That means rebooking travel, because if you've booked a train for Saturday night, and suddenly your match is on a Friday evening, it becomes a bit like, well, I can't refund that because Trainline is also broken as hell. And in the EFL, that's not even for that much money. If your club completely has a match rearranged and you're the home side, you get £100,000. If you're the away side, you get £10,000. That, in some cases, will roughly just about cover the training and relocation, never mind sort of accounting for the fact that you might lose this match because, hell, scheduling is awful in the EFL in the first place. And the worst bit is it's not even just football that's affected. It's seen in a range of events like the EFL, the Premier League, Rugby League, and more. Sky have a lot of rights in the UK and internationally. This is a pretty big issue, and it seems to have gotten worse with the new EFL TV deal. Now, this is admittedly only applying to certain clubs, but even in the Premier League, you have one horrific season, you can come all the way down and you will be dealing with this problem too. And on the face of it, this EFL TV deal is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be looking over to my notes just to make sure I get all the numbers right, but it's a £935 million deal over 5 years, which seems pretty good until you realise that the Premier League clubs get something like, let's do the maths in my head, 1.8 maybe billion pounds every single season in TV revenue alone. This will include broadcasting 1,059 EFL matches a season, including every single game from the Carabao Cup and the one that used to be the Papa John's, the Bristol Street Motors one, the one that no one gives a shit about. It will feature 328 championship matches, 248 from League One and 248 from League Two, with TV income across the EFL distributed between the clubs being up £68 million, which, on the face of it, fantastic. Translates to a 46% boost for clubs in the Championship and 25% for clubs in League One and League Two, which, thinking about it, wonderful. That's a lot more money for my club, right? Which my club needs, because money's tight down here and it'll help us to grow a little bit. But this is where you get drawn into the Sky TV narrative. The narrative of more money is more good for clubs. And you're completely cutting out one of the most important bits of football, and that is the fans. This all happened with the European Super League debacle, where everyone was like, yeah, the clubs will get more cash, but I'm not going to go to Saudi Arabia to watch Chelsea versus Inter Milan. And it's a similar case here, because it will be a colossal change for fans. There's no international matches or anything like that. That'd be hyperbolic. But in the Championship alone, there will be 5 matches televised every single match day, with 5 also chosen from League One and League Two between them. Each and every one of these 10 matches, every single match week, will be moved outside of the blackout window. This is a window from, I think, 2:15, 2:45 to 5:15 every single Saturday, where nothing in terms of football is allowed to be broadcast. No live matches, no sort of live streams. That's why a lot of people have to go to the internet to find their way to watch their own football club. And on the face of it, yes, every single one of these matches being moved outside the window and broadcast is a good thing. But this means that almost half of the fans in the Championship every single week will have huge rearrangements to make. And let's be honest, the EFL is known for doing this at very short notice. The same is the case in the Premier League, where sometimes clubs will get 3 or 4 weeks to be like, okay, so admittedly, you were playing on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Now it's sort of Wednesday at 8 p.m. So hopefully your fans can get all the way down to Southampton and back and go to work the next day. But if not, it's fine. You can deal with it. That's going to keep happening for everyone. And in addition to that, it will play havoc with player schedules and player conditioning. And the example I've used for this is the top 4 in the Championship. Leeds United alone have been on television 33 times this season in the Championship, out of 46 games. Every one of those matches was moved from a typical broadcast slot. So fans have had to rearrange, players have had to rework their training regimes, and it is ultimately playing hell with clubs at the top of the Championship, which is in part why I think every single club at the top of the Championship had that collapse after the last international break, because all of those players were, I can't do it anymore. We've had to fit in so much football in so little time. And I don't think these rearrangements will help, because as much as Sky have said that they will ensure parity and make sure that everyone gets their time on TV, there's a pretty big chance that that time on TV will be against those bigger clubs. Will be against the clubs that were going to be on TV anyway. And that parity will add up to, you've got the same amount of matches on TV if you're one of the bigger sides, and you've got the same amount of adjustments to make if you're one of those bigger sides. You just get to play against more different clubs on TV, is how it feels to me. In addition to that, I don't know how much the revenue per game is going to change. If it stays around that £100,000 figure, that is absolutely horrendous. Because to have not even 2/3, 3/4 of Leeds this season rearranged, they have been repaid with something like £3 million, which in the grand scheme of football isn't much. And we all know that. And every single club in the Championship would be aware of that. And it doesn't matter who you are, it's not going to make that much of a difference to the coffers. And admittedly, that 46% increase could be nice, or it could add up to not very much, because there's even more restructuring of your season. A big question, however, is what exactly can fans do? Because this is bad for fans. This is fundamentally horrible. It means rearranging absolutely everything all the time. And sadly, not much. This was all agreed to. It's all on paper. It's all been inked down, and it's going to start in August, at the start of the next season, which sucks for me. And fans can sing their displeasure, but it won't make a difference. As much as I want it to, the contracts are signed. It's all agreed. It is happening. And football is increasingly about the money. Maybe if we're even louder, that might change, but who knows? It feels like fans are fighting an uphill battle and have been for a while. So to return to my earlier point, Sky TV is fucking shit. Anyway, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this whole thing. It might be better for the clubs further down the pyramid, with League 1 and League 2 clubs being able to be seen a bit more. Yes, it'll help their TV revenue, but that restructuring won't be good for people's weekends. Like the video if you enjoyed it at any point. Subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and even become a channel member. All that money right now is going towards Prostate Cancer UK, so it would be hugely appreciated. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you later. Can't really think of a funny end bit for that. It's a struggle.